Hello, Marcus Bronzy here, time for another episode of What's in the Box. And today we're checking out the Noah water system, which is a brand new way to hydrate yourself. Basically, if you've watched this channel a few times, you know that I am very interested in filtered water now. This is a unit which integrates into your current water system, which I'm meant to be able to install myself. And when we're finished today, I should be able to experience filtered water from my tap. Here we go. Now, like I said, the key feature about this is that you're supposed to be able to do it all yourself without being a plumber, and I am definitely not one. All right, here we go. The first thing that we have here is the owner's manual. I usually don't pay much regard to instructions, but I think this time round, it's going to be something that I need to take very, very seriously. So here's the Noah filtered module. Here's the owner's manual. This is basically, that's a little control that you have for it. This tells us to install an app, which I will do. How it works is we'll be turning our tap all the way to cold. Tap once on the filtered icon, pour your filtered water, shut your tap off, and the filter stops after 2 seconds. So there you go. And here is a picture of how it's going to approximately work with my system here. This will be my tap system. I'll attach the Noah here, and there's a cold hose, and that will be connected to Noah. The Noah will be able to connect through the system. I need a little bit of power, which I've sorted out, and we'll be cracking on. And basically it has all the bits in the box that I should need for it apparently to connect to my water supply. Now, I did have a little talk with the guys at Noah about what supply I have, just to make sure I'm good. And they're pretty confident that what they have in the box and they issue to everyone should connect with most water supplies. Obviously, before you buy, you might want to double check you have everything right, but let's crack on and see what's in the box. Okay, first few things we have in here. Let's have a look here. 2 Noah boxes. Water without limits. Welcome to the Noah family. We bet you're going to love our new water system at Noah. We're all about making filtered water easy and accessible, whether you like it sparkling, chilled or boiling. Yes, so in the future there will be further modules with sparkling and chilled and boiling. We haven't got them today. Today we're just going to work on the filtered and see where we go from there. Let the good times flow. Bosh. Now these look like the connectors. So these out for you. These here are the different connectors for your different types of water supply. We're going to find out which one is best for me today, and we're going to connect to that. This, what's this? Oh, a little bit of thread tape. This thread tape here, I've actually seen this. You actually can tape this round when you're connecting pipes, and it helps to make sure everything stays nice and watertight. These are little clippies, and these little clippies, I think they help to hold the connectors on. They'll clip around the connector some point here. I really don't know what I'm doing. Here's the power supply, which we're going to need to power it. You do need power. It's like an AC power adapter here. Okay. You will need power to power these boxes. And I'm sure once we add extra modules on, there'll be a way to connect the power separately. If not, we'll just have to use a multi 4-way adapter. So that's that first box there. Hey! So this unit right here is the actual controller. So this is how we control the Noah when it's sorted. A little bit of a closer look at it. You can see it's just buttons that you tap. I believe this is a Bluetooth controller. Got room for a couple of batteries in there as well. There's no at the back. Let's have a quick look and see. Yeah, AAA battery here. When you have it on a flat surface, these buttons here actually are the ones that are pressed. So when you're pressing down, you're actually hitting a button on the bottom of the device, which I'm activating. It's got a light on it of some sorts. I don't know if you can see that there. See that? It's got a light there. There you go. Probably not flashing at me because it's not connecting to anything. 2 of these, which I believe some nice adjustable grips. Nice little tools to have in your toolbox afterwards, actually, these. There you go, and that'll be for getting the pipes on and off. And then this screwdriver key, which, there you go, a little flathead screwdriver. I have my own, but I guess if they want you to be able to install this without having to buy an extra kit, that's it. Let's see if there's anything else in there. Nothing else in there. Pop these away. So these are the accessories that I'll need to connect. These are the instructions which I'll need to really read to connect. And next up, here is the actual Noah itself. So you can see here, it says Noah at the front, big logo, that's the front of the unit. Does this come off? I think there's a filter that, oh, okay. That's the filter in there. The filter that, let's see if we can get this out. Oh, and this is the thing that does the magic. The Noah filter, replacement cartridge for Noah filtered modules. Reduces sediment, chlorine, taste, odor, lead, benzene, dichlorobenzene, toxaphene, and scale. So I was reading up on the website and you can see it's got lots of information on what it filters here. But basically they do say that it helps reduce lime scale potentially, and it filters your water, and I think it says it filters out a number of things. I don't want to start listing them off because I want to make sure that we get those right, but I can put those in the description. But you should have some good filtered water. We will be testing the filtering. Also, we have a setup here as well. This is how you're meant to set this up. There's a pin on it as well, and that pops on there magnetically. That's the business end. I will get the plastic off in a sec. And then at the back end, we have an off and an on. So it's currently on. Maybe I should probably turn it to off before I crack on with it. There we go, off, on. And then we have all of these vibes, all of these lines. So this one says inlet. So that is where the water goes in. I guess they should be turned off when I'm not using them. That's where the water goes in. So the water goes in through the inlet, out through the outlet, and this goes to the other modules. Now, speaking of other modules, there's going to be a carbonated and cooled unit, which is going to be a bit bigger than this. And then there'll be a heated unit, which is about the same size as this. And these will connect in somehow, I'm not 100% sure yet, with each other. You can see there's the extra spaces. So this says to the other modules, so this would be cool and sparkling, or cool and sparkling together, which is one, and heat. So that might go there, cool. So they probably go, the filtered water maybe comes out, goes to the other modules, and from the other modules goes to here, and then from here it'll go to the tap. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense, I think. But anyway, we're not focusing on that today. Today, it's all about the very simple task of connecting this up and getting some filtered water through my tap. I won't need any extra third-party stuff on top of my counter or anything. My tap will be running filtered water, hopefully, if I get this right. Wish me luck. I'm by no way means a plumber. Let's see how we get on. So the first step is obviously to clear out the area that you're going to be putting the Noah in. As you can see, this is me just emptying out the cupboard under the sink at the studio. Quite a few bits to grab out of there. Also going to give it a little wipe down as well to make sure that everything's nice and tidy in there, because why not, eh? Then next up, it's all about making sure that we find the right area below. So there you can see the boiler unit there, loads of pipes, and it's about finding out which pipes go to where. I think you see a hot and a cold on that boiler. That's a hot water boiler there. But really what we want to be looking at is those two silver connectors onto those two copper pipes there. One of them is the one I need. One of them is the one I do not need. That is the one I need. That's the cold water. I think that's the hot water. That's the one I don't need. Either way, I'm going to connect to one of those. The best way to find out really is to run some hot water, fill the hot pipe which is warmer, and the one which doesn't get warm when you run the tap is obviously the cold tap, or the cold connector. Again, I'm not a plumber, so let me off here. So now I've worked out which pipe is which. It's all about using the stopcock. There you go. Use a little screwdriver that comes with it. Turn off the tap. Best way to make sure that your tap is off is when you run it, no water comes out of it. There you go. That's me draining off the excess there. And there you go. Just double checking there's no water coming out whatsoever. Afterwards, it's all about, I would say, getting some water, because when you're working with water, you need something to hydrate just in case. So I had some water prepared to the side. Thanks, Scooby, for that. And the power supply, when it comes to it, I didn't have a separate unit in there. So what I do is I'm just going to run a lead to it, and then at a later date I'll get somebody to set up some proper electrics. I'm not an electrician, so like I said, can't connect to that, but I'll connect it to the plug outside, which is lucky. Anyway, right, you get tools in the box with the Noah. So there you go. Those are the two little adjustable wrenches there, and connecting them up. And then what I do there is unscrew there. Nice to have a little towel under at this point. As you can see, a little bit of excess water will come out. a little drop or two. And that's the first bit done, disconnected. There you go. Check it's got a little plastic inside because I think that means it's the right kind of connector. I did lots of reading and checking over to make sure this was the right size connector. Open that up, that bit up that came from Noah. One bit connects there onto the cold water pipe that's coming in. And then that's nice, just simply screws on. And next you screw the second bit on. There you go, all fingers, but I'll get there in the end. Nice, simple. So far, very, very simple. Connect that up and then we are good to go. Made sure that was all nice and tight. Lovely. Nice to double check these things. Not a plumber. So there you go. That is the outlet and that's the inlet. Next thing, also, by the way, people are probably curious about the size. You can see there, looking at about 40, I'd say 44 centimeters in length. And there you got about 13 centimeters I gave. So it fits into any regular cupboard. There's the Noah itself. All of the bits connected to it came like that. Loads of stuff there, which was a little bit intimidating, but the instructions talk you through what connects where. That's the inlet, and that connects to the inlet where the water comes in to the environment that you're working with. And then use these little clips, and those little clips there, they seal the connection. So there you go, just pop them on like that, make sure they're facing the right way, and you're good to go. I was very surprised at how easy it was at this point. Do the same with the outlet. Connect it up, push it in. Bosh. Just doing it with one hand. Oh no, two hands. I'm trying to show off in it. Two hands needed. And then again, it's all about grabbing one of those clips and popping it on. Make sure it's facing the right way as well. If it's the wrong way, it won't clip together right, basically. Then also you have a Noah shut off where you can actually shut off the water coming in from the inlet. There you go. So it was off and the instructions told me to turn it on, but you can turn it off while you're doing stuff. Also turn the Noah from off to on. That's what the instructions said to do. These are the extra outlets which don't need to be on at the moment. They're for the extra bits when the Noah has the cold water and sparkling hot. Those need to be closed. That's the closed position. Otherwise water may come out of those. Then it's all about turning the stopcock back on. And you see the water, the pipe rattled a little bit there. Showed water was going through it. Then, as per the instructions, it said to add some power. Plugged it in there. Like I said, just point it in. And that's the little device there. And that's the filter in there. That's me turning it on and getting it paired up. And that's it pairing up with the remote there. A couple of button presses, golden sign, and there you go. That means it's connected. That means it's working. Next step up is to run the water for a little bit. And there you can see there's the Noah working. See, as you press it, the water kind of changes because obviously you get less of a water coming out because it's going through the filter. So there you go, that's me pressing it and showing you how simple it is. Then you've got to run it for 2 minutes, which I did to make sure all of the water goes through it. Let's speed it up a little bit. You don't really want to see 2 minutes of me just standing there with my watch. But you run it for 2 minutes to get all of the water going through it. There you go. And then you should be good to go. It's as simple as just grabbing it, setting it up, and running water. You also get an app with it which gives you all of the instructions. That's everything that you need to do to connect it. I went through the paper instructions which were fine, but if you need to double up, it shows you everything there. That's me going through it. That's the app. You need to sign up to the app as well to get the extra features which you'll see in a sec, but there you go. That's all of the instructions that I followed. Everything from literally connecting it all the way through to pairing it with a remote. So that should be all good to go right there. And then, yeah, there's a little QR code on the back that you use to connect it to your Wi-Fi. And once it's connected to your Wi-Fi, in the future, they say it's going to show a little bit more data than what we see here, but you get some basic functionality, which I'll be honest, I'm a bit of a button man when it comes to this, but I'll show you it all connecting up. There you go. Link to your account, which I set up. And there you go. You can see your filter. And at the moment, you can name it and you can also turn it on and off. So instead of pressing the button, you can use the app to turn it off. But to be fair, I don't think I'm ever going to activate it when I'm not near the tap. So it's a nice to have, but I'll probably just use the remote. All in all, it took less than 30 minutes, apart from one hiccup, which I'll speak about in a moment. But anyway, let's taste some water, shall we? So it's been a few days. I've been working with a few water filters and we're going to do a little bit of science to kind of find out, one, what is in each kind of water when it comes to the TDSs and stuff like that. Two, what they taste like. Got a few cutaways here to get through first. One of them is don't mess with the filter. I had a little fiddle with the filter that was on the Tap Noah, and basically some of the, in fact, let me show them to you, 2 ticks. What you don't want to do on the Tap Noah is, let me just show you the tip here. What you don't want to do is you don't want to mess around and fiddle with these little rings here, because I was farting around with it, and if you do fart around with these rings, then you can get a leak that looks a little bit like this. It's my bad, my fault. Thanks to the guys at Noah who helped me sort that out very quickly with customer services. Let me go put that in. A little bit of science, a little bit of a taste test. Here I've taken all of the waters that I've taken from various places. Tap water, you know how that works, comes out the tap. Skooma is a tabletop device where you get water, pour it into a receptacle, it filters the water and gives you filtered water on the other half. It's powered by electricity. You hear a pump that makes a bit of noise. The zero water filter is like what I'd like to call a passive one, where you pour water in the top and it comes through, and then you drink the water from it. Both of these quite cool. And the Noah is different because you literally have a unit under your tap and water comes out of it, so there's no filling it up like you'd have to do with the zero water, and there's no filling it up like you'd have to do with the Skooma as well, because it comes straight out of the tap. So that's what the difference is between these, and let's taste them one by one. Also, I put them all in the fridge for a little while, just so they're all around the same temperature. That is tap water. Tastes like tap water. Straight away I can taste the difference here when it comes to this is the Skooma. It just tastes more filtered. Obviously there's a massive difference between tap water and Skooma water, and here's a zero water as well. Tasting very similar when it comes to flavour. That usually is the case anyway. And then I guess what's up next is the Noah. For those that are waiting for some real science, just a quick shot. I have actually got a TDS meter. This is the one that comes from the zero, so it may love the zero water a bit more than the other types, but here you go. Turn it on, you dip it in water, and I can hold the setting, turn it off, and it gives you the proper ppm or the total dissolved solid. So I'll use that in just a sec, but right now let's taste the Noah. It tastes definitely tastes filtered, but it tastes somewhere a bit more in between. It tastes closer, somewhere in between tap water and filtered, if that makes sense. That's how I feel about it. Again, I'm not a water sommelier, I'm not a water expert, I'm just Marcus. Next up, what we're going to be doing is using this TDS meter to check the total dissolved solids of each of these waters and get a reading. So tap water is, let's put a hold on that there. We're getting a reading of, so for the tap water, we're getting a reading of 228. It's usually around the same when I test it randomly. That's our tap water after we've ran it for a few minutes, chilled it. Let's turn that off, right? And I know this isn't very sciencey, I'm just chucking it in, but look, I mean, as in I'm not washing off the meter, but that's cool, like, you know, we can roll. So here we go, 25, which is a lot lower than the 230s, 200 approximately as well. So you can see that there's quite a big difference in filtering when it comes to using the Skooma. Let's see the zero water, which is the passive filter. Wow, look at that, 17, which is a nice reading. I mean, so along as we go, it shows that the zero water does give you the most filtered water in terms of the least TDS, total dissolved solids, I believe that means, compared to tap water. But they're not too far off each other. They're about 10. I don't know, is that a lot? You let me know, water guys. Is 10 a massive difference that you can have, you know, or should we say 17? It's around 30. Well, that's about 15. So it's about twice as many dissolved solids in the Skooma. Next up, I guess it's time for us to test the Noah water, which comes up at 162. So it literally does fall, similar to the taste test, right in between the kind of levels that you're getting from the Skooma and the zero water and the tap water as well. Taste wise, like I said, I could taste a slight difference. I will also say I've been using this for kettles as well, the Noah for kettles and tea as well. We had a coffee machine that I only put filtered water in. It never had any limescale in it, and it still is the case after a week or so of use. I could give you a review after a month to let you know, but so far, limescale, there's no limescale buildup that I usually see, which we have in this water. It's a very hard water area. Okay, so what is my final thoughts on this? Well, this isn't just a simple question of I like this tap water because it's filtered the most, because there's a nice nuance within this, right, which I can discuss, which could help you decide when you want to kind of move forward with your water. So we know tap water now. If you're happy with tap water, great. I'm got to be honest now, I'm not really a tap water guy, so let's get rid of this. I don't really want that to be an option. If you do want to filter your water though, you have choices. Do you want a system that doesn't use any energy? If so, then obviously the zero's there for you, isn't it? Zero, but you fill it up, you wait for the water to come through, which does take a significantly longer time than these other two options here. You get water as you want it. In fact, with the Skooma, it's got like 3 litres that you fill up, and then you have to kind of empty the excess water, then fill it up again. So you still need to have it near a tap, if I'm honest, if more than one person is drinking water every single day. Whereas the Noah, you just turn it on and water comes out of it. So would I be happy with a situation where it's slightly less filtered, but it's easier to access the water? I think for me personally, I like less faff. I like tech, I like gadgets, but there's also nothing wrong with me pressing one button and it changes everything. I do that with everything that I work with, you know, even my lights. I've got Philips Hue lights. I like to press a button and it goes to a setting and all the lights adjust with colors and adaptions and stuff like that. I don't want to have a lighting system where I have to sit there and go over each of the lights one by one every time I want to kind of have a nice lighting setup. I want to have things on a button, and considering I'm a kind of on a button guy, or I want less tech and I want stuff to integrate into my current system, I think there's a big reason why the Noah has a massive positive here, because like I said, these two here require you to fill them up. The Noah doesn't. So for me at the moment, I'll have to have a bit more of a think about it, but I love the fact that I'm getting filtered water direct from the tap, and it's so easy, if you don't mess with the filters like me, to put together and just work with. It just happens. It just makes the water, you're good to go. But that also means that Noah have a great opportunity here to also use. Can they adjust the filter that they use? Can they tweak the filters? Can they use a better filter? I don't know. You know, can they have a filter that can try and if we can get a filter and get us close to this kind of level of TDS, then, you know, we're winning. Does that require more pumping? Does that require more noise? Does that require us to remove excess water with TDS in it like we do the Skooma? Or does that us require waiting for a bit of time? I don't know, but there's clear benefits to the Noah here if you want an integrated water system that just serves water. You don't want mess on your countertop. Also, let's add in the fact that the Noah, as well as having this filtered water, is going to be adding cool and sparkling, and also going to be added hot water at the same time. So that saves time if you have a kitchen and you don't want stuff on the side, because there's a gadget for everything right now. You know, I've already got an air fryer on the side. I've already got a coffee machine on the side. If you've got this at home, you've got water fills on the side. So if you can reduce the amount of clutter and keep everything as streamlined as possible, that'd be great. And what's great is with the Noah, because it's a modular device, they can improve it over time once you have the system in there. It's click fit. So I think there's definitely a massive bonus in here if you're somebody who wants a water filter that just filters your water, but doesn't feel like there's much faff. There's just a little remote control on the Noah that we use that can select that filtered water. And like I said, in the future, cool and sparkling and hot water as well. So for me, it's a big bonus. I'm definitely going to keep it here at the How to Kill Now studios, and we're going to keep using it, and I'm going to keep an eye on the coffee machine and such. And also, there's another thing as well. I'm very ignorant when it comes to water. What particles are being filtered out? Are these filtering out, for example, 230 of the bad ones and leaving in 17 or 20 of the good ones? Is the Noah filtering out all of the bad stuff, and is the other stuff that's in there good stuff for us? Is it minerals? Is it other stuff? You know, this is interesting, but I would say that's more for the professionals, and I'd love you to talk about it in the comments. But I would also like to say that I'm very interested to see what Noah do with their future modular add-ons, because this can be a system that evolves over time. And also, I'm very confident after installing it that I feel like I could put one at home. I feel like I could put one in your home. I feel like it's very easy to do if you have regular pipe work. I mean, and if you don't, I guess, you know, they've got all the adapters that they think you need. And if you don't and you've had a different experience, let me know. But I feel like it's one of the easiest inline installations that I've done. I'm not a plumber, right? I'm not a plumber. My level of plumbing is Super Mario level, right? That's how much of a qualified plumber I am. So Noah, big love for this. The water tastes nice, Filtered, I'd love if you could filter a bit more if possible. Could we run a second unit through and have an ultra filter, or a bigger unit with a bit more presence, you know, a bit more of a size difference that filters even more out? I think I'd be willing to go for that if it means that I don't have to fill up anything when I'm filtering my water. You know, they've gone for a small size. In fact, this would be a great way for them to have as a product. They could have the Noah filter, which filters regularly, and they could have a bigger version which does even more filtering for you. So yeah, all in all, that's been what's in the box. I've been Marcus Bronzy. I've been tasting some water. Cheers, Noah. Also, don't forget to press like and subscribe, and I'll be with you checking out some new tech very soon. Peace.